I heard Doug was going to Los Angeles for some meetup game. There better not be any dogs there.
Well, that's right. The rumors are true. I am headed to Southern California to play in the meetup game at the Lucky Lady Casino on May 15th, sometime around 6 p.m. Looking forward to meeting all the other vloggers that are going to be down there. Of course, there aren't going to be any dogs at the casino, but I hear there is a fish. I will be spending my free time playing poker at some of the other local casinos. If you're interested in following where I'm at and what I'm doing, please follow me on Instagram. I will be having some updates there. We're buying into the Capital Casino 1-3 game for $300. There isn't any big stacks at the table, so $300 should cover it. I've been pretty card dead so far, so when I look down at 2 5s from under the gun, they look like aces. I open for a raise to 15, and everyone folds except for this person in the small blind. I have to look like I have something good here. I haven't played a hand in probably 30 minutes. Flop comes out ace jack 7 with 2 spades. First player checks. This is excellent for my range. I put in a C bet for 15. He takes a peek back at his cards and then puts in the call. Normally when they peek at their cards that way, they don't have too much. Turn card comes as a 6 of spades. He peeks back again at his cards. I decided to check this one back. He snapped his fingers as the river card comes out, looking like he was hoping to hit something on the end. So when he checks it, I just check it back, expecting him to show a missed hand, which he does. There are a bunch of limpers, and I look down at 2 3s from the small blind. I just put in the extra $2 to see a flop. Hopefully we can flop a little set here and get paid off. Well, we get our wish with one caveat. It comes king jack 3 all spades. I check first. The person who limped in first position now bets 20. Everyone else kind of folds along and it comes back around to me. In this spot, I don't mind check raising, but I really think that if he has top pair, he's going to fire on any blank. So I just put in the call. And the turn card is a bad one. It's a 4 of spades. Definitely don't like this if he has the spades. I checked to him and he checks it back. But as he did, he kind of lifted up his cards to look to see if he had a spade. And he flashed that he had 2 red cards. So when the 9 of spades comes on the end, I'm just going to shove, get him off a chop. And if you guys haven't checked out Rad Poker, go ahead and download the app. It's free. It's fun. You get to play a little heads up turbo tournament. It doesn't take any more than a couple minutes to play a game, and you get rating points and you move up and down the ladder and you get to see how you do against other players and other vloggers. There are quite a few vloggers on there now, so if you want to hop on, take one of us down or play one of us heads up, just go ahead and do it. I'm ready for you. Anyway, we'll see you on Rad Poker. I got a very late start filming this hand. Person under the gun opens for a raise to 15. Everyone folds to me. I put in the call with king queen. Flop comes ace jack 10. We're heads up. I check it over to him. He continues for 15 and I just put in the call. Turn card is a queen of hearts. I check it and he checks it back. River card is a 4 diamonds. I bet 25 to get some value out of an ace or a queen, ace queen type of hands. He puts in the raise to all in for some $90-something. I really can't put him on any kind of diamond draw here unless it's specifically king 10 of diamonds. So I put in the quick call and he shows ace 4 offsuit. Very strange. I look down at 2 jacks from the cutoff after a bunch of limpers. I raise to 20. Person directly behind me, short stack with $28, goes all in. The first and second limpers both put in the call, and so do I for the 28. Then something interesting happens. The player on the button starts talking to himself under his breath, and I was able to hear some of it, and here it is.
Wow, we got plenty of action off of 28. Now if it'll stay up.
So by the way he's talking, it sounds like he has a really big hand, like aces or kings. So we go 4 ways to a flop with one player all in, and the flop comes 7, 9, 10 rainbow. Both players quickly check to me. I think I have my hand is good here. I just need to protect it. So I put in a bet for $60. I might be able to go a little bit larger, but I thought this would get the job done. Anyway, it didn't work because the first limper jams. He has about $235 altogether. Of course, the next player folds and it comes back around to me. And here I'm trying to figure out what hand he would have to limp and then jam. So the ones I'm worried about are hands like pocket sevens, pocket nines, maybe 10-9, something like that. But there's also a lot of draws out there, and he could be doing this a little bit lighter. So I think I have a few outs. I put in the call. Turn card's a king, river card's a 9. He turns over a pair of 8s, so he flopped an open-ender with a pair. I take it down with my jacks, and the player who was muttering about hoping his hand will stand up, he did have pocket aces for the main pot. After 2 early limpers, I raise to 20 with king-queen suited, and I get a call from the big blind and the 2 early limpers, so we go 4 ways to a flop. Flop is queen 9-9 with 2 hearts. Facing 3 opponents on such a wet board, I'm supposed to c-bet this thing probably for $35 to $45, but instead I decided to check it back just in case somebody had a 9. I'm not sure why I played this so passively, but I hope you don't. Be aggressive. It gets checked around again. This time when the deuce comes, I should probably bet this for value, but I check it back. And now the river card comes as a king of hearts, and it's checked to the second limper, who kind of thinks for a moment and takes a small stab for $35. This is obviously a bluff in my book, so I put in the quick call. The other 2 players fold out quickly. They probably didn't have much to begin with. The bettor folds out his hand. He didn't have much either. I might have got max value from playing this poorly, but be aggressive. It works out better. All right, this hand's a doozy. I'm in the big blind with 2 8s. The person limps under the gun. It's folded to the person on the button who puts in a raise to 15. This could be a very wide opening range, and my initial thoughts was that I'm going to 3-bet and isolate. The player in the small blind puts in the call for 15. He has been playing extremely tight. He will be calling with medium-sized pocket pairs or ace-king, ace-queen, or other big Broadway hands. So I decided to put in the call for 15 with my pocket 8s against this person's range, and then the player behind me shoves all in for $65. The button quickly puts in the call for the 65, and so does the small blind, and now it's on me. The under the gun player has been known to limp re-raise with very strong hands. Being a short stack, I'm not putting him on necessarily on a very strong hand, but just a quality hand, like, Broadway cards, medium pairs to big pairs. The button I have on a wide range, and the player in the small blind I have on a very tight range also. He has pairs, say 7s plus, up to jacks, and ace-king, ace-queen, king-queen type of hands. He's been very conservative so far. So with those ranges in mind, I think I have a call here. I think I have about 20% equity I need, and I'm getting a little bit over that. So a call would be good equity-wise, but then something interesting happens, and the person who shoved all in starts to talk again.
Well, stands up again.
If you didn't hear that, it sounds like he was saying he hopes his hand stands up again, implying that he has a hand like aces again, which wouldn't be shocking with the way he plays. Given this little added piece of information, I have to adjust his range to say 10s plus. And if that's the case, I'm definitely not getting the right price. But he's saying this while there's still action pending, so I don't put as much weight behind it as I would normally. But still, when I'm sitting on the fence on a questionable call or fold type of situation, this little information made me lean towards a fold. I also thought about putting in the 4-bet and representing something even stronger. But because I just flatted the $15 bet, I think I lost all credibility. If I would have raised or 3-bet myself and then he went all in, then maybe a 5-bet would look strong enough. But the way the hand went down, I don't think someone would fold a pair of 10s or pair of jacks like the small blind might have in this situation. So I put my tail between the legs and just folded out. Lost $15 on the hand, but I was sure interested in seeing how this turned out. The flop comes 6, 7, 6 with 2 hearts, and now the small blind leads for 100. So this bet screams overpair, and it's probably bigger than my pair of 8s. I think I might have folded to this bet. It would have been a really tough call. The button ends up calling, so we see a turn card of a 10 of hearts, and now the small blind checks it, so definitely not pocket 10s. It gets checked around. River card comes as a 6 of diamonds, and he ends up showing pocket 8s from the small blind. The person who was all in didn't have aces. He had queen jack suited and turned a flush. This was the hand that sent me home because I couldn't get it out of my mind how to play this particular hand. I think maybe I should have 3-bet pre-flop to try to get the other 8s out and just be called by the person on the button who's been, playing erratically. I thought, well, my fold was good. It was not a great spot, especially with the information gathered from the player who went all in. There's a lot of different things that went through my mind about how I would play this hand, and if I called, whether I would make it past the flop. I'm really interested in seeing what you guys think about this. So don't be shy. Go ahead and let it rip. Tell me how bad I played this hand. And tell me what you would have done differently if you would have done anything different. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. I'll be down in Los Angeles on the 15th. Follow me on Instagram if you want to know exact whereabouts during that time period. But I will be at the Lucky Lady at 6 p.m. on Saturday night. Hope to see you then. Until then, run good at the tables.